Hello, my dear friend. Take a deep breath in and exhale gently. Has the outside world turned off its lights? Yet somewhere within your mind, thoughts still refuse to rest. I understand. I truly understand that feeling. Sometimes the silence of the night makes the noise of anxiety clearer than ever before, like standing alone before a deep internal abyss. But tonight, right in this moment, you are not alone. I am here, not to preach, but as a kindred spirit, sitting down beside you. Together, we will let go of everything. Tonight, we will not fight the darkness. Instead, we will light a candle of peace through the gentle streams of the gospel, according to St. Luke. This is not merely an ancient story, but an anchor, keeping your soul still amidst the rushing currents of life. If you wish to find this sanctuary of peace every night, gently press the subscribe button so that we may always find each other. And now, allow your body to rest. Feel the weight on your shoulders drifting away. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. All is safe. All is forgiven. Listen to the gentlest invitation, a promise meant specifically for your sleep tonight. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Now, close your eyes and let everything drift away. Let us together enter into the night. Do not be afraid, for only in the darkness can we see the stars. Let your body sink down, deeper still, into the soft bed, as if you are releasing yourself into the palm of the great providence. Tonight's story begins with a silence. Remember Zechariah, a man who spent a lifetime praying in weariness. When facing the most sacred, his voice was taken away. Reflect upon this. Is that not the image of our very selves? We speak too much, worry too much. The noise in our heads is like a market that never ends. And sometimes, God grants us silence, not as a punishment, but as a grace. Old Zechariah was forced to be silent, to learn how to listen to the beat of a new life germinating. Tonight, I invite you to also mute your thoughts in this way. The world out there still turns, but in this room, there remains only holy silence. And in that silence, look towards Mary, a young girl facing a destiny as vast as an abyss before her. Did she tremble? Yes, she did. Just as you are trembling before the burdens of tomorrow. But amidst the storm of the heart, waiting to rise, a voice from high heaven echoed down, not the sound of thunder, but a whisper as gentle as a passing breeze. Do not be afraid. Mary, you have found favor with God. Do not be afraid. Let those 3 words spread throughout your body, from the crown of your head, down to your weary shoulders, down to your very toes. You are loved. You are protected, not because you are perfect, but because you have been chosen for peace tonight. Now, let your mind drift to Bethlehem, a tiny town sleeping soundly under a canopy of stars. What do you see there? An inn bright with lights, noisy, packed with people. That is the image of your mind these past days, full of worries, calculations, no room left, no room for rest. But the Prince of Peace does not squeeze into that cramped place. He chose a stable, a place dark, cold, and empty. This is a great secret of the soul. It is in the very place you feel poorest, loneliest, that the light chooses to be born. You do not need to clean your mind to be perfectly pure and tidy to sleep well. No, just let your heart be simple like that stable. Accept the lack, accept the cracks in the soul, for it is through those very cracks that the light enters. Look and see in the dense darkness of the fields. The shepherds are sitting silently. They are doing nothing. They are only waiting. They are the first to see the glory, not because they are wealthy or talented, but because they are awake amidst the night. You are also awake, but instead of anxiety, turn this wakefulness into contemplation. The darkness surrounding you right now is not an enemy. It is a soft velvet blanket, keeping a child warm and keeping your own soul warm. Breathe in the silence of the winter night. Exhale the noise of the inn. The stable of your soul now has a master, peaceful and warm. When the starlight has settled in the sky and your breathing has become steady, like the rhythm of a rocking cradle, let us allow time to drift by, watching that child grow, bringing peace into the very heart of the storm of life. Time, like a gentle river flowing away in your sleep. The little infant of years past has now become a 12-year-old boy. Let us join that boy and the caravan of pilgrims going up to Jerusalem. Can you feel the noise of the crowd? Voices calling to one another, hasty footsteps. That is the very image of the daytime world you have just experienced, full of getting lost and disturbance. And in that chaos, Mary and Joseph lost their child. Try to feel that anxiety. Do you also frequently feel as though you are losing something very important? Losing joy, losing calm, or losing the very good sleep you deserve? They searched everywhere. They rushed back and forth through strange streets, just like the way your mind keeps running circles around tangled thoughts, searching for an answer. But stop, take a deep breath in, and look inside the temple. There, completely separated from the noise outside, the boy Jesus is sitting, not afraid at all, not confused at all. He sits amidst the wisest masters, not to argue, but to listen and share. An absolute composure in the eye of the storm. When his parents found him, with all their astonishment, the boy spoke a sentence that I want you to etch into your heart tonight. A sentence that will be the key, locking tight the door of your anxiety. Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house? Why do you frantically search for peace on the outside? Why ransack the past or the future? Peace, it lies right here, in the Father's house. That is right within the deepest internal temple of your own self. In that place, there is no noise of traffic, no pressure of work, only the presence of unconditional understanding. You are not lost. You have never been lost. You were just taking a walk outside, and now it is time to return home. Return to your breath. Return to the slow rhythm of your heart. Look and see. After that event, what did the boy Jesus do? He quietly followed his parents back to Nazareth. He chose obedience. He chose a hidden life, peaceful, growing in silence. Your mind right now is the same. Obey your weary body. Be obedient, like a child. Follow me back to the land of rest. Leave the noisy Jerusalem behind. Returns to the peaceful Nazareth of dreams. Your eyelids are growing heavy, heavily, like the temple doors closing, shutting out all noise. Only the gentle scent of incense remains, and absolute safety. Everything is finished. Every question has its answer. You are home. Dear friend, friend of silence, lie down comfortably. Right now, no more work, no more deadlines, no more noisy sounds of the city streets, only you and this space. Breathe in deeply and exhale gently. Let your body sink down. Sink deep into the soft mattress, like a dry leaf gently landing on the surface of a calm lake. Today, we will together take a journey into the depths of the soul, a trip needing no movement of feet, but moving by the beat of a heart, longing for peace. The great writer Victor Hugo, who spent his whole life looking deep into the darkness and light of humanity, once wrote in the masterpiece Les Misérables a sentence in English saying, "There is a spectacle greater than the sea, That is the sky. There is a spectacle greater than the sky. That is the interior of the soul. Indeed, your soul, right at this moment, is vaster than the sky. And sometimes, in that vastness, we feel lost. We feel as if we are walking amidst a dry wilderness of anxieties. Does this seem familiar? The feeling of tossing and turning, the mind like a desolate land, full of wind and dust of cluttered thoughts. But my friend, do not fear that wilderness, for it is in the wilderness that miracles begin. In the Bible, before the Messiah appeared, there was always a preparation. That is the image of John the Baptist, the man of silence and the wild. He stood amidst the open land, where nothing is hidden, to raise the voice of truth. Imagine you are standing with John amidst the desert of your mind. The wind blows through your hair, cool and fresh, and you hear the prophecy echoing from ages past. As Luke recorded, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, "Prepare the way of the Lord, make his paths straight, make his paths straight." Let these words seep into your mind. The anxieties within you right now, they are like winding, crooked roads. They make you weary because you know not where to go. But tonight, we will prepare the way, not by straining to fight, but by letting go. Imagine every breath you exhale is an act of clearing away the pebbles of worry. Breathe in peace. Exhale the clutter of the day. Every valley of sorrow will be filled with love. Every mountain and hill of pride or complex will be made low into a plain. Your mind is becoming calm. The path has been cleared. Only vastness remains. And when the path in the soul has opened, we go to the river Jordan, the river of cleansing. Visualize you are standing by the riverbank. The river water is crystal clear, reflecting the shimmering starlight. Jesus also once stepped down into this river. He, the Holy One, immersed himself in the water together with humanity, to share the human condition with us. When the cool water touches your skin, it is not just water. It is forgiveness. It is acceptance. Do you feel that water flowing through your mind? It washes away the dust of judgment, the judgments others have passed on you, and even the harsh judgments you reserve for yourself. Let the waters of the Jordan wash it all away. Victor Hugo deeply understood the pain of conscience's torment, but he also believed in the power of salvation. He believed that when humans cast off their burdens, they will find the light. As soon as Jesus was baptized, the heavens opened, and a voice spoke, "You are my beloved Son, with you I am well pleased." My dear friend, in this sleep, accept that whisper for your very own. Whoever you are, whether you succeeded or failed today, no matter how small you feel, in the eyes of the Creator, you are a beloved child. You are unconditionally loved. I am well pleased with you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Let this comfort soothe your heart. You are safe. You are fully accepted. And now, when the soul has been cleansed, we look towards the source. The Bible recounts the genealogy of Jesus, a long list of names, from Jesus, back to David, back to Abraham, and back to Adam, the Son of God. It sounds dry, but feel its rhythm. It is the rhythm of connection. You are not a lonely island amidst the vast ocean. You are a link in the great chain of life. You have ancestors. You have roots. And your ultimate destination is God. Victor Hugo, in his penetrating view of humanity, always reminded us that every human being carries within them a divine spark. You belong to something greater than yourself. The feeling of loneliness, of being lost, is only an illusion of the night. The truth is, you are tightly connected to the great love of the universe. Like a tree rooting deep into the earth, your genealogy is a genealogy of love. Feel that stability. Your back rests against the mattress, like resting against your solid roots. You are not adrift. You are supported from one generation to another, from the past to the present. Peace is spreading from the crown of your head, down to your shoulders, through your chest, down to your belly, and spreading to the very tips of your toes. Your body is sinking deep into a state of rest. The river Jordan still flows gently in the mind. The whisper, "You are my beloved child," still echoes, protecting you, sheltering you. Your soul right now has been cleared like a wilderness waiting for the rain, has been cleansed like a fresh river, and has found the source of peace. But the journey of the soul does not stop there. To reach absolute silence so that sleep can heal the deepest wounds, we need to pass through one final trial, a trial that even Jesus had to face. That is the silence of 40 days in the wilderness, where every outside noise completely ceases, leaving only the dialogue between the soul and the temptations of the night. Hold on to this peace, breathe in deeply, and prepare to walk with me, deeper still, into the land of inner victory, where darkness is no longer fearful, but becomes a soft blanket, guiding you into the deepest slumber. We have just stepped up from the cool river, Your soul has been cleansed. You feel relieved. But the journey into deep sleep sometimes needs a silence longer than that. The Bible recounts that immediately after being baptized, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. He was there for 40 days, eating nothing, drinking nothing, only silence enveloped him. Imagine you are entering your own wilderness. Do not fear the darkness or loneliness here. The wilderness is your very bedroom right now, where all the noise of the outside world has been extinguished. Only you remain, facing yourself. Victor Hugo, who always found beauty in human tragedies, once wrote in the poem The Genesis about the greatness of darkness and silence, that sometimes we need the night to see the stars. He said, "The stars are the eyes of the night. In the wilderness of this room, close your eyes. Let the night embrace you." Do you feel? Sometimes in this silence, thoughts begin to rise. Those are the temptations of the mind, just as Jesus faced the whispers of the devil. The first temptation came when he was hungry. The tempter said, "If you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread," turning stone into bread. Does that seem familiar? That is the voice of material anxiety. When you lie down, the mind begins to remind you, tomorrow I must make money. I must solve this trouble. I must achieve that goal. The mind wants you to turn the hard stones of life into bread immediately. It wants you to solve problems right when you need to sleep. But listen to Jesus' answer, a gentle yet powerful answer, quoted from the book of Deuteronomy. It is written, "Man shall not live by bread alone." Repeat these words in your mind, very slowly. Man does not live by bread alone. You are not just a working machine. You are a soul, and the soul needs to be nourished by peace, by sleep, by trust. Let go of the desire to control tomorrow. The stone remains a stone, but tonight, you do not need to turn it into bread. You just need to breathe. Breathe in. Trust. Exhale. The burden of daily bread. You are nourished by a source of energy more sacred than matter. And then, the second temptation came. The enemy took him up high, showed him all the kingdoms of the world. He said, "I will give you all this authority and glory if you worship me." Late at night, this is the temptation of the ego. Comparison, envy, the desire to be recognized. Thoughts like, "Why am I not as successful as them? Why am I treated this way?" They noisily demand their rights inside your head. But Victor Hugo, in the immortal work Les Misérables, left behind a beautiful quote about letting go of vain ambitions to find God in one's heart. Be like the bird that, pausing in her flight awhile on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, and yet sings, knowing she hath wings. You have the wings of faith. You do not need to cling to the branches of fame or the recognition of the world to feel safe. Jesus replied, "It is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve." Worship him alone. This means worship peace. Value your sleep more than struggles and competitions. Let the kingdoms of the world recede. In this moment, there is only you and eternal peace. Your body is sinking deeper, deeper still. The noises of ambition have completely ceased. Only one final trial remains. The temptation of doubt. The enemy took him to the pinnacle of the temple and said, "Throw yourself down, for God will command his angels to guard you." This is the voice of insecurity. Will I be okay? Is the future scary? We often want to test life, want to know the outcome beforehand, to dare to sleep in peace. But Jesus said, "It is said, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Do not put life to the test. Trust it. Do not try to foresee the future in the dark. Close your eyes and release yourself into the arms of God, not throwing yourself into an abyss, but relaxing yourself into the soft bed, into the providence of the Almighty. When Jesus overcame every temptation, the Bible records that, "And when the devil had ended every temptation, he departed from him until an opportune time." The darkness has retreated. The torment in your mind has vanished. And what happened after that? Angels came and ministered to him. Right now, when you have let go of anxiety about bread, let go of the ambition for power, and let go of doubt. The angels of sleep are coming to you. They gently soothe your weary eyes. They cover you with the blanket of serenity. The wilderness is no longer barren. It has become a quiet garden under the moonlight, where you are absolutely safe. Victor Hugo once wrote a very short sentence, but full of healing power in the man who laughs. Paradise is rich, but only for the poor in spirit. Poor here means casting off every burden. It means returning to a perfect zero. It is the peaceful emptiness to welcome sleep. Let your soul become empty, light as a feather, nothing holding it back. You are drifting, drifting gently on the river of grace. From the wilderness, you have found the oasis of peace. Sleep now, my friend. every battle is over. God is watching over you. Peace, peace, and good night. Dear friend, traveler of dreams, we have walked together through the silent wilderness. Tonight, let me take you to another place. A place cooler, more gentle. It is the shores of the Sea of Galilee. Take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, imagine yourself standing before a vast lake. The water is as calm as a mirror, reflecting the starry sky. The wind blows in from the lake, carrying cool moisture, caressing your skin, soothing eyes burning with fatigue, softening a forehead furrowed with anxiety. Here, you are no longer alone. You are with Jesus during the days he went about sowing love. Galilee, the place of everyday miracles. Victor Hugo, who spent his whole life writing about miserable people, once compared the human heart to the vast ocean in the work Les Misérables. He wrote, "The heart of a man is like the sea. It has its storms, it has its tides, and in its depths, it has its pearls too." My dear friend, your heart right now perhaps also holds hidden storms. Waves of anxiety keep rising and falling restlessly. You want to sleep, but your mind surges like the tide. Do not resist it. Let those waves soothe you. For right here on this shore, Jesus is walking towards you. He goes looking for those who are suffering. The Bible tells that people brought to him the sick and the infirm, lepers, who had to live separately because they were shunned by society, paralytics, lying motionless on mats, helplessly staring at the ceiling, the blind living in eternal darkness. Do you see the image of yourself in them? You may not be physically leprous, but sometimes anxiety and depression make you feel like an isolated person, separated from the joy of the world. You may not be paralyzed in your limbs, but your mind is paralyzed by pressure. You want to escape, but cannot move, and perhaps your eyes can still see, but you do not see a way out for the problems of tomorrow. You feel you are groping in the darkness of insomnia. But listen, a leper came and knelt at the Lord's feet and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus did not hesitate. He reached out his hand and touched him. The touch of love, the touch that breaks every barrier of fear. And he spoke a powerful sentence recorded in the Gospel of Luke, "I will, be thou clean." Let these words echo in your mind right now. Imagine the warm hand of the healer resting gently on your forehead, on your tense shoulders. He is saying to the anxieties in your head, "Be thou clean." Every negative thought is vanishing like mist meeting the sunlight. Every heaviness is being lifted away. Healing is spreading throughout your body, from the crown of the head, down the neck, down the back. Soft, relaxed. You are being washed clean of the dust of the world. You are safe. You are loved. You are healed. And now, when the body feels lighter, we look out a little further onto the lake. There are boats docking. It is the boat of Simon Peter and his fishermen friends. They have just been through a long night out at sea. They worked hard all night, casting nets continuously, but caught no fish. The nets were empty. They were tired, disappointed, and sitting washing their nets in weariness. Does it seem familiar? The image of the empty net is the very image of your effort to control. You tried all day to solve your work. You tried to manage everything your way. And now, lying down in bed, you are still trying to catch sleep. The harder you try, the emptier the net. The more you force yourself to sleep, the further sleep slips away. You feel exhausted like those fishermen. But Jesus stepped onto Peter's boat. He steps into your chaotic mind, and he makes a strange request. He told Peter, "Launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a draft." Peter could have argued. He was a professional fisherman, while Jesus was just a carpenter. But Peter chose to trust. He let go of experience, let go of ego, let go of the judgment of reason. He said, "At your word, I will let down the nets." And the miracle happened. The nets were full of fish. The lesson for your sleep tonight lies in two words: the deep. God is inviting you. Do not linger in the shallow waters of trivial thoughts anymore. Do not try to control the waves on the surface. Row out into the deep water, the deepest part of the soul, where absolute silence reigns. To do that, you must do as Peter did. Let go of the oars, release control, and trust the boat of your life to the flow of the water. Victor Hugo, in his penetrating view of the arrangement of fate, wrote in The Toilers of the Sea, "Nothing is more mysterious than the synthesis of a whole joyful world in a single glimmer of radiance." That glimmer is faith. When you trust and let go, you will find a whole peaceful world at the bottom of the soul. Imagine you're on that boat. The boat is drifting gently away from the shore, further away from the noisy city, further away from the worries of daily bread, heading towards the deep abyss of water. Deep blue water, calm, peaceful. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to pull the net. You do not need to worry about tomorrow's catch. God takes care of everything. Your job is only to lie still on the boat, gazing at the starry sky and letting the waves lull you. Every breath is a gentle wave, taking you deeper, deeper still, into sleep. Launch out into the deep. How gentle that invitation is. That is where you belong tonight, where there is no judgment, only the infinite tolerance of the ocean of love. Your body is now limp. Your mind has stopped resisting. You are floating, floating amidst the vast Sea of Galilee. You have been healed from pain. You have cast off the burden on your shoulders. And now, when the boat of the mind has anchored in the deep, quiet waters, we will listen to stories told by the boat's side, stories about love, about forgiveness, and about the way home. Hold on to this floating sensation. Let me continue telling you about the seeds of peace being sown into your dream. The boat of your mind is still drifting gently, bobbing up and down, bobbing up and down. From the deep waters, you look up towards the shore. There, on a gently sloping hillside, lush with green grass, Jesus is sitting, and you, in your mind, are also sitting at his feet. The space right now is absolutely silent, only the wind whispering through the blades of grass, like the relieved sigh of heaven and earth. Here, he begins to speak, not with dry dogmas, but with beatitudes, comforting words for broken hearts. He sees right through into your soul, where there are hidden battles that no one knows, wounds caused by others, injustices that have not been resolved. They ache within you every night, but listen to his words, a teaching that goes against every common logic of the world, yet is the only key to unlock the door of peace. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. Love your enemies. Tonight, the enemy is not necessarily someone out there. The enemy could be the tormenting thoughts attacking you. The enemy could be the insomnia tormenting you. Do not fight it anymore. Do not hate the black night. Love the presence of yourself right now. Forgive. Forgive not because they deserve it. but because you deserve to sleep well. When you let go of resentment, you are like a prisoner who has just had their chains removed. Your soul becomes incredibly light, vast, and free. Tolerance is the strongest sedative. Imagine you are packing all the sadness, all the anger into a single leaf and dropping it to drift along the cool stream. Drifting away, drifting away. And when the heart is light, the Lord tells you a story about a sower. Your mind is that very soil. Every day, countless seeds are sown into it. Seeds of noisy news, seeds of pressure. They are the thorns choking the life out. But tonight, we will clear away the thorns. Jesus speaks of the seed falling on good soil, but the ones that fell on the good ground are those who, having heard the word with a noble and good heart, keep it and bear fruit with patience. Turn your mind into good ground right now. Soft, moist, ready to receive the seed of silence. Sow into your head the notion, I am at peace. I am protected. Be patient. Do not rush to force the plant to grow. Just sow it down and sleep peacefully. The seed of peace will germinate in your dreams. The story continues to lead us deeper into the subconscious. There is a traveler beaten and injured by the roadside. That is the parable of the Good Samaritan. Have you ever felt that you are that traveler, battered by life, abandoned on the margins of success, lying in pain and exhaustion? But my friend, you are not abandoned. The healer, the Good Samaritan, is bending down beside you. He does not ask why you ended up in this state. He does not blame your carelessness. He only quietly bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine. Feel it. The fragrant oil of comfort is being soothed over the wounds of your heart. The wine of antiseptic is washing away toxic thoughts. Cool, soothing, the pain subsides. Your muscles relax. He lifts you up, places you in a safe resting place. Allow yourself to be weak tonight, to be cared for by him. You do not need to be strong anymore. Sleep now, wounded soldier of life. Every wound will heal when the dawn comes. And finally, when your eyes are heavy, the Lord tells the most moving story, the story of the prodigal son. Perhaps you have walked very far from the peace that was inherently yours. Perhaps you have squandered your energy on meaningless worries, and now you find yourself empty, starving for love. But look, at the end of the road, there is a warm light. That is home. That is sleep. That is where your Father is waiting. He does not stand inside the house waiting for you to knock. The Bible records a verse full of resonance. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. Visualize that magnificent scene. Sleep is running to welcome you, not a cold black screen, but the warm arms of an old father longing for his child's return. He embraces you, shields you from the cold winter night wind. He says to his servants, "Bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet." The best robe. That is the soft blanket covering you right now. It covers all the stains and dust of today. It restores honor and dignity to your soul. You are not a failure. You are the beloved child who has returned home, sandals on his feet. You will no longer have to walk barefoot on the gravel of anxiety. Your feet are resting, being cherished. You have arrived home. The door has closed behind you. The storms stop outside. In this house, there is only soft golden light and the steady breathing of safety. Nothing left to worry about. All debts have been canceled. All mistakes have been forgiven. Only love remains. A vast love. Deep. Submerging you in peace. Nestle deep into those arms. Like a child lying in a mother's lap. Relax. Relax completely. Sink down. Sink down. Coming home. Coming to sleep. Peace. Peace. Dear friend, persevering traveler, are you asleep yet? Or do your eyes still linger a little on the earthly world? We have just left the warm home of the benevolent Father, but the journey of the soul does not stop there. Tonight, we will undertake a most important journey, the journey up to Jerusalem. In the Bible, Jerusalem is not merely a city. It is a symbol of destiny. It is the place where every truth is revealed. Imagine you are walking with Jesus on the red dirt road leading up to the highlands. The path is steep. Your breathing slows down. Every step is an effort to leave behind the lowlands of anxiety. The higher we go, the thinner and purer the air becomes. Do you feel the space around you changing? It is quieter, more solemn. Jesus walks before you. His figure is steadfast. He knows what awaits him in Jerusalem. He knows of the suffering, of the betrayal, and of death. But he still steps forward. With a strange serenity, he turns back to look at the disciples, looks at you, and says something very hard to hear, yet it is the medicine of liberation for your mind tonight. He foretells the end, and he teaches that if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Deny himself. Tonight, these words do not mean painful sacrifice. It means let go of the ego screaming in your head, the ego that always demands everything be perfect, the ego that always fears tomorrow, the ego that always wants to control the outcome. Let that ego sleep peacefully. Let it die in this sleep so that tomorrow you may be reborn with a new source of energy. Which cross are you carrying on your shoulder? The cross of debt, the cross of sickness, or the cross of heavy responsibilities? God does not tell you to throw it away, for that is your life, but He says, take it up and follow me, meaning you do not walk alone. He is walking right in front, making a way for you. The burden is shared. The path is less steep. Breathe in deeply. Feel the weight on your shoulders being shared. You are lighter now. On that journey, there are times we are confused. We ask ourselves, who is the one leading me? Did I trust the wrong person? Will this faith help me sleep well? Jesus asked the disciples, but who do you say that I am? And Peter, the representative of courage within you, spoke up, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. That confession echoed like a bell ringing in the valley. It is an anchor. When you define your faith, your mind will no longer drift. Say to your heart tonight, I trust in the arrangement of the universe. I trust in the protection of the Most High. I believe that everything will be all right. That faith is a solid rock for you to lay your head upon. Nothing can shake it. And now, when faith is firm, Jesus takes you, along with Peter, James, and John, up a very high mountain, Mount Tabor, the place of absolute silence. Imagine you are standing on that peak. Beneath your feet, the world shrinks down. The noisy cities, the trivial worries, are now just tiny dots. They can no longer touch you. The cool mountain wind blows through your hair. You feel completely separated from the dusty world. And then, a miracle happens right before your eyes. Jesus is transfigured. The Bible describes that glorious moment with the most beautiful words. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. Let that light flood into your mind. This is not a glaring light that hurts the eyes. This is the light of understanding, the light of grace. Victor Hugo, who was always obsessed with the contrast between the darkness of prison and the light of conscience, once wrote in Les Miserables a sentence that touches the depths of hope. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. You are seeing that sun right this night. The transfiguration is not only happening to the Lord, it is happening to your very own pains. Look at your anxiety under this light. You will see. It is no longer as scary as a ghost. It becomes pure white. It vanishes into the light. The scars of the past are now glowing. They become the testament to your strength. You are not a victim of the night. You are a witness of the light. Peter, in the ecstasy of peace, exclaimed, "Lord, it is good for us to be here." Indeed, it is good to be here. In this state of deep relaxation, it is truly good. You do not want to leave. You want to set up a tent and stay here forever. A place with no deadlines, no pressure, no sound of arguing, only the gentle white light wrapping around your body. From the crown of the head, the light spreads down to the forehead, smoothing out wrinkles, spreads down to the eyes, soothing the tension, spreads down to the lips, opening a slight smile, spreads down to the heart, warming the chest. Your whole body is glowing. You are being transfigured from a weary, anxious human. You are becoming a light, pure soul. A bright cloud covers you, and a voice speaks from within the cloud. "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him." Listen to the words of peace. Listen to the rhythm of silence. You are on the sacred mountain, absolutely safe, far away from every storm. Just enjoy this moment. A little longer. Feel the lightness, the transcendence. You are floating in the light. But life is not only on the mountaintop. This light needs to be brought down to the valley, where noises are still waiting to be quieted. But that is a story for later. For now, just bathe yourself in this aura. Breathe in light. Exhale darkness. Peace. Very peaceful. Hold that light in your heart. Slowly, gently. Together with Jesus, we walk down the mountain, returning to ordinary life, returning to the valley where people dwell. Often, when leaving a place of serenity to return to the noise, we tend to feel a sense of emptiness. We fear that worries will rush in again. We fear that the noises of responsibility, of social prejudices, will devour the peace that has just begun to bloom. That is the very image of the Pharisees in your mind. They are not ancient historical figures. They are the harsh voices inside your head. They are the lawyers of perfection. The moment you lay down on the bed, they begin to whisper, "Why is the work not finished today? Why rest when you have not succeeded? Why are you so lazy?" They hold in their hands the rule book of life, scrutinizing your every tiny mistake. They want to steal your sleep with guilt. But look and see. Jesus is standing between you and them. He enters the synagogue into your mind on this very Sabbath. The Sabbath is not just Saturday or Sunday. The Sabbath is right now. It is the sacred moment when you have the right to rest. Those judgmental voices are angry. They say, "No healing on the day of rest. No sleeping when work is unfinished." But Jesus looks straight at them. His gaze is as stern as thunder, yet as gentle as the ocean. He declares a truth that liberates you from every chain of pressure. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Let this saying seep into every tense cell of yours. This sleep was created for you. Work, responsibility, success. They were born to serve your life, not for you to become their slave. You have the right to rest. It is a gift, not a reward you must struggle to earn. Breathe in the right to rest. Exhale the guilt. In the synagogue that day, there was a man with a withered hand. That hand is like your soul after a long day of struggling. Withered, exhausted, devoid of vitality. The judgmental voices want you to just leave it withered like that. But Jesus told that man, "Stretch forth thy hand." Tonight, he is also saying to you, stretch out your soul. Do not curl up in fear anymore. Do not clutch tightly to worries anymore. Relax your hands. Relax your fingers until they are completely soft upon the mattress. When you dare to stretch out your hand, it means you dare to trust. And immediately, the hand was healed. Life flooded back. Softness replaced the stiffness. You feel your muscles melting away. Gently, smoothly. But the judgmental voices still refuse to be silent. They switch to attacking the appearance. They remind you of your social image, of the mask you must wear every day to please others. They are the hypocrites within, always worried about what others think of them. Jesus smiles compassionately. He sees your weariness from having to play so many roles in life. He speaks to those voices with a tone stern yet fully penetrating, the way a great writer looks through the human heart. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. The outside of the cup, that is what you showed the world today. You smiled when you wanted to cry. You said, "I am fine," when your heart was shattered. You wiped the outside of your cup very clean. But tonight, in this private bedroom, you do not need to clean the outside anymore. God cares about the inside of the cup. He cares about your naked heart. He wants to wash the inside clean. With peace, take off the mask, set it aside, remove the armor of strength. Here, you are allowed to be yourself, even if you are weak, stained, imperfect. God loves that inside. Let Him wash away the calculations, the jealousies, the hatred that are dirtying the cup of your soul. Just one stream of forgiveness flowing through. The cup will be crystal clear. When the inside is clean, sleep will come in a pristine way. You will no longer toss and turn over schemes. You will sleep the sleep of a young child, carefree. The Pharisees, the judgmental voices, upon hearing those words, they quietly withdraw. They have no more grounds to accuse you. Your mind now is like the temple after being cleared of noisy merchants. Empty, vast, and sacred. Only you remain, and the protector of sleep. The space is so quiet, you can hear your own heartbeat. Thump, 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 thump. That is the rhythm of life, the rhythm of providence. You do not need to do anything to maintain that beat. It happens by itself, just as you do not need to try to sleep. Sleep will come on its own, like a grace, in this absolute silence. There are no more rules, no more right or wrong, no more masks. Only the truest existence remains. Your body is heavy, sinking deep down. Your mind is light, floating up high. The conflict has ended. Peace has been restored. The Sabbath of the soul has truly begun. Rest now, O weary soul. God has silenced every enemy of sleep. Peace, peace, and good night. Dear friend, kindred spirit of the night, take a deep breath in and exhale very slowly. We are standing before the gates of Jerusalem in the Bible. This is the day Jesus entered the holy city. The people held palm branches and cheered. They spread their cloaks on the road. The shouts echoed, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Imagine that Jerusalem is your mind throughout the past day. Bustling, noisy, full of events, meetings, messages, praises, and criticisms. Your mind has received too many streams of information, like a crowd jostling and shoving each other. You feel overwhelmed by the world's acclaim or exhausted from having to please that crowd. But look at Jesus. He sits on a donkey, humble, calm. He walks amidst the cheering, but his heart is undisturbed. Victor Hugo, with a heart of great empathy for the human condition, once wrote in the masterpiece Les Miserables about true happiness, a happiness that comes not from outside acclaim, but from inner peace. The supreme happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved. Loved for ourselves, or rather, loved in spite of ourselves. Amidst the noisy crowd of today, realize that you are loved not because you are talented, not because you are successful, but in spite of your flaws. Let the noise of the crowd recede. Jesus passes through the crowd, and he heads straight into the temple. This is the most sacred place. It is your bedroom. It is where you lay your back to rest. But look and see. What is in that temple? Merchants, money changers, the sound of bargaining, the clinking of coins, the sound of scrambling for profit. That is the image of the worries about daily bread invading your sleep. They turn the house of prayer into a den of thieves. They steal your peace, but tonight, the healer will clean up for you. He does not use the violence of hatred. He uses the authority of order. He overturns the tables of anxiety. He drives out the merchants of calculation. He says, "It is written, my house is the house of prayer." Repeat these words. My mind is a house of peace. My bed is a place of rest. No trading of worries is allowed here. No exchanging sleep time for money is allowed here. Imagine you are holding a broom, sweeping gently. sweeping away the dust, inviting noisy thoughts to step out the door. Close the temple door. The space suddenly becomes strangely quiet, clean, pure. Only the faint scent of incense remains, and the soft light of candles. When the temple is clean, Jesus leads you up to a room in the high story, the upper room. Here it is completely separated from the world below. Dinner is served, not delicacies, just bread and wine, the simplest things, but also the most essential. Jesus takes off his outer garment, girds himself with a towel, and kneels down. He washes the feet of the disciples. He washes your feet. Feel the warm water flowing over your weary feet that have walked all day. The water washes away the road dust, washes away the fatigue, washes away the straying footsteps. You are served. You are cherished. In that sacred silence, he takes the bread, breaks it, and gives it to you. He speaks a whisper echoing through 1,000 years. This is my body which is given for you. It means he takes on every burden for you. The pain he bears, the anxiety he endures, so that you may receive lightness. Eating this bread is eating peace into your very depths, so that peace seeps into your flesh and blood. And he takes the cup of wine, the cup of the new covenant, the covenant of forgiveness. Whatever mistakes you made today, whether you spoke amiss, got angry, or failed at this moment, all is forgiven. This cup washes clean your conscience. Victor Hugo, who always believed in the ultimate salvation of the soul, left behind a beautiful thought that when humans know how to share the bread of love, that is when they are closest to God. You are sitting at the table with God. In the shimmering candlelight, you feel satisfied, no longer hungry for fame, no longer thirsting for recognition. You are already complete. A warm feeling spreads from the stomach to the heart, throughout the body. Drowsiness is coming, heavy on the eyelids. The feast of the soul has ended. Everything is finished. You are safe in this upper room, cleansed, nourished, and unconditionally loved. Hold on to this feeling of fullness and warmth, for we are about to step out onto the porch, where there is a wind-filled garden, to seek a peace deeper still, the peace of surrendering the entire destiny. We leave the warm room of the Last Supper, Stepping out into the night, the air outside is chilly, but this chill helps your mind stay alert to realize the truth. We cross the Kidron Valley to reach the Garden of Gethsemane. Gethsemane, the oil press. Life is sometimes like a press. It presses us into difficult circumstances to extract the purest drops of oil of maturity. Imagine you are sitting under an ancient olive tree. The trunk is twisted, rough, like the tangled thoughts in your head right now. You are tired. The disciples are also tired. They have fallen asleep from sorrow. Do not blame them, and do not blame yourself if you feel weak tonight. Jesus goes a little further, and he kneels down. In the absolute silence of the garden, he faces the greatest fear. He sees the bitter cup that he must drink. It is the cup of every suffering, every sin, every burden of humanity. Perhaps you are also seeing your own bitter cup. The worry about tomorrow, the fear of failure, they weigh heavily on your chest, making it hard to breathe. Jesus prayed a most honest prayer, most heart-rending. Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. That is the cry of human instinct. I do not want to endure anymore. But the secret of peace lies not in running away. It lies in the next sentence. A sentence of completely letting go of resistance. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. But thine be done. Whisper this phrase with the night wind. When you say, thy will be done, you are handing control back to the universe. You no longer have to strain yourself to steer the boat of destiny, no matter what tomorrow brings. It is the best arrangement. Let go. Leave that bitter cup for God to handle. Your body begins to relax. Relax. Just as Jesus found strength after that prayer, an angel appeared and strengthened him. Right now, as you let go of your own will, the angels of sleep are also coming to you, caressing your heavy eyes. Then torchlight flashed in the night. Judas came, the friend, the disciple. He approached and kissed the Lord, a kiss of betrayal. In life, how many times have you been hurt by loved ones? How many times has life kissed you with ironic adversities? We are often angry. We want to draw the sword as Peter did, cutting off the enemy's ear to protect ourselves. But look at Jesus' reaction. Amidst the chaos of soldiers, swords, and spears, he remained calm. He touched the ear of the wounded servant and healed him. Even when being arrested, he still healed. He told Peter, "Put your sword into the sheath." Tonight, put the sword of defense into the sheath. Do not fight against negative thoughts anymore. Do not resent those who have hurt you. Accept things as they are. Let it be so. Acceptance is the most effective painkiller. The crowd took him away. The garden returned to silence. Only the wind remained wailing. But the journey of the soul does not end there. We follow Peter quietly to the courtyard of the high priest. The night grew colder. People lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard. The fire crackled. The flickering light clearly illuminated weary faces. Peter sat there, warming himself. But his heart was cold with fear. A servant girl looked at him and said, "You also were with him." Fear flared up. Peter denied, "I do not know him." The first time, the second time, the third time, "I do not know who he is." My dear friend, have you ever denied yourself? Have you ever denied your faith, denied your dreams, or denied your kindness for fear of life's pressures? And then the crow of a rooster rang out. Tearing through the night, the crow signaled the coming dawn, but also signaled the breaking of conscience. At that moment, Jesus turned around and he looked at Peter. That was not a gaze of accusation. That was not the look of a judge judging a sinner. That was the gaze of a vast ocean looking at a tiny drop of water. That gaze contained the immense sadness of the world, but also contained boundless love. That gaze said, "I know you are weak, and I forgive you." There were no words of reproach, only ultimate understanding. Peter ran outside and wept bitterly, and Peter went out and wept bitterly. Do not fear the tears. Tears are the final cleansing for the soul. If you have any regrets today, let them flow out. Cry if you want to. Crying is not weakness. Crying is to cast off the 1,000-pound weight on your chest. When tears fall, tension also flows away. Regret turns into peace. You have been forgiven. The very moment you realize your mistake, you have been embraced. The darkness of this night is no longer an enemy. It is a blanket of tolerance covering human frailty. Peter wept, and after that, he found peace. Now, let the image of that tolerant gaze lull you to sleep. No one judges you tonight. No one demands you to be strong tonight. You are human, and being human means being allowed to stumble and being allowed to rest. The fire in the courtyard has faded. The noise has ceased. Only the silence of grace remains. Your body sinks deep, deeper still, into the bosom of Mother Earth. Every sin has been washed away. Every anxiety has been let go. Only love remains. Sleep. Forgiven one. Sleep in the arms of infinite tolerance. Peace. Peace. And good night. Dear friend, traveler seeking silence, breathe in deeply and exhale all the heaviness of today. We have just left the courtyard of the high priest, where Peter's tears of repentance fell. Now, dawn has broken, but in your mind, perhaps it is not yet fully light. Clouds of anxiety still remain. We are entering a trial, not a trial of brick and stone, but a trial within the consciousness. Jesus is led before Pilate, then Herod, then back to Pilate. He stands there, solitary, amidst a forest of spears and shouting accusations. Do you find this image familiar? Every night, when you lay your back upon the bed, a trial often takes place in your head. You are the accused, and your thoughts are the judges. They accuse you. Why did you not do well today? Why did you fail? Where will your future go? Those voices are as noisy as the powerful high priests. They demand you to answer, to defend, to explain. And that very defense causes you to lose sleep. But look at Jesus, standing before Pilate, representing worldly power, and Herod, representing shallow curiosity. What did he do? He was silent. The Bible records that he answered not a word to the baseless accusations. That silence is not weakness. It is the majesty of a soul that knows its own value. Victor Hugo, who once described the tormenting trials of conscience in Les Miserables, left behind a profound thought. The silence of the innocent is sometimes the loudest thunder to the conscience of the wicked. In The Man Who Laughs, he wrote a haunting sentence about the contrast between appearance and the interior. The soul has its illusions. As the bird has its wings, it is supported by them. Do not let the illusions of judgment drown you. Tonight, learn to be silent like Jesus. Do not argue with negative thoughts anymore. Do not try to prove yourself right or wrong before the court of anxiety. Just be silent. Watch them pass by, like clouds passing over a mountain peak. You do not need to answer any questions tonight. The trial is adjourned. Relax your shoulders. Where you are tensing up in defense, relax your forehead. Where it is furrowed in calculation, God has been silent on your behalf. But the trial does not end there. Pilate, who wanted to release the Lord, offered a choice to the crowd. On one side was Jesus, the one of peace, of healing. On the other side was Barabbas, a robber, an insurrectionist, a murderer. Pilate asked, "Whom do you want me to release to you?" And the crowd, those agitated people, screamed, "Release Barabbas! Crucify Jesus! Release Barabbas!" This is the greatest tragedy of the human mind, and it is still happening in your head every night. Between peace Jesus and chaos Barabbas, we often tend to choose chaos. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? But reflect upon it. When you need to sleep, instead of choosing silence, prayer, and relaxation, you choose to pick up the phone. You choose to scroll through negative news. You choose to think about worst-case scenarios. You are choosing Barabbas, the robber of sleep. You are letting the noise and violence of information take over your mind and crucifying peace upon the cross. The crowd in your head screams for stimulation, demands anxiety, but tonight, we will change this verdict. Look at Barabbas, that chaotic noise. It brings you no life. It only brings weariness. And look at Jesus, standing silently, full of compassion. He does not blame the crowd. He knows they do not know what they are doing. Victor Hugo once said a very beautiful sentence in Les Miserables about forgiveness for human errors. To understand is to forgive. Understand yourself. Understand that your brain is tired and habitually seeks anxiety. Understand and forgive yourself for having chosen wrongly in the past. But right now, you have the right to choose again. Say to the Pilate in your head, "I choose peace. I choose Jesus. I release silence." Imagine the shouts of the crowd are getting quieter, quieter. They are dispersing. Barabbas, the chaotic thoughts, has disappeared into the darkness. The courtyard is now empty. Only you and the Prince of Peace remain. No one accuses you anymore. No one demands anything of you anymore. The verdict has been pronounced. You are innocent, for God has taken every judgment in your place. A feeling of relief is spreading throughout your body, like cool water flowing through dry, rocky crevices. You are free. Free from the judgment of the world, free from the torment of yourself. The courtroom doors close behind you. Before you is a long road, but it is no longer frightening. It is the road of absolute surrender. the road leading to the final rest of a long day. Hold on to this precious silence. Do not let any noise return. You're safe, very safe, in sacred silence. The courtroom doors have closed. You walk upon the rugged stone-paved path. On your shoulder is the cross. Do not fear this image. The cross is the very burden of today that you have not yet been able to set down. Unfinished responsibilities, expectations of others, nameless sorrows. They bind together into a heavy wooden beam, weighing upon the slender shoulders of your soul. You drag your steps, weary, exhausted. You want to collapse. And in reality, you have already collapsed onto your bed. But right at the moment, you feel you can endure no more. There is a hand supporting that burden. It is Simon of Cyrene, a stranger, yet full of compassion. In the spiritual journey tonight, Simon is the very grace of God. He does not take the cross away immediately, but he lends a shoulder to carry it with you. You are not alone in this weariness. There is an invisible strength supporting you from beneath. Feel the weight on your shoulders lessening by half, then lessening completely. You are going up to the top of Golgotha, the place of the skull. It sounds frightening, but this is the very place where everything will end, where pain is transformed into love. Imagine you are lying on that hilltop, not in pain, but in a posture of outstretched arms. Spread your arms wide, like Jesus on the cross. When you spread your arms, you can no longer hold on to anything. Money falling down, fame falling down, control falling down. You are naked facing the vast sky. On either side of you are two thieves. Those are the two voices always arguing in your head whenever night comes. One on the left, he mocks. He is the voice of doubt and bitterness. He says, if God is real, why do you suffer like this? Why not solve the problem right now? He wants you to struggle. He wants you to doubt your own sleep. But look to the right. The penitent thief. He represents the deep conscience within you, the part that knows how to thirst for peace. He does not demand to come down from the cross. He accepts fate, and he only begs for one tiny thing. Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. That is the humblest prayer. And listen to Jesus' answer, a sentence tearing through the gloomy night, bringing the light of eternal hope. Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Not tomorrow, not when you grow old, not when you have paid off all life's debts, but right tonight. Paradise is the absolute peaceful state of sleep. God promises you that the very moment you accept to let go of resistance, you will enter the paradise of dreams. Receive that promise. The worries on the left ear have fallen silent. Only the sweet promise on the right ear remains. Your body is gradually going numb. In comfort. The sun is setting. Darkness covers the whole earth. But this is not the darkness of fear. This is the darkness of rest. The dark velvet curtain is falling to shelter you. Everything is finished. Jesus, after having tasted every pain of the human world, uttered the final word. It is finished. Your work today is finished, whether successful or unfinished. It is done. Do not try to fix the past anymore. Do not try to sketch the future anymore. The full stop for a day has been placed. And then, in the last breath, the gentlest, most serene breath, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. This is the golden key to open the door of deep sleep. Imagine your soul, your mind, like a light wisp of smoke or a tiny bird. You entrust it into the giant, warm hands of the universe, the hands of the Father. You no longer need to keep yourself. The Father will keep you. Repeat these words in your mind, following the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, Father. Exhale, I commend. Inhale, into thy hands. Exhale, my spirit. Your body sinks down, sinks deep into Mother Earth. Your head tilts to one side, resting on the shoulder of the beloved one. Tension vanishes, heart rate slows down, breathing is steady, everything is silent. Absolutely. No more pain, no more torment, only eternal peace remains, like a drop of water falling into the vast ocean. You merge as one with sleep. The death of the anxious ego is the beginning of a reviving sleep. Sleep now. Beloved child, you have reached the destination. Everything is finished. Surrender. Surrender. And good night. Hello there, traveler who has passed through the long night. Breathe in deeply and feel the relief spreading within your chest. We have left every burden on the hill of Golgotha. We have entrusted everything into the Father's hands. And now, it is the first day of the week. early dawn, when the night dew still lingers on the leaves, you step towards the tomb, the place burying anxieties, failures, and even the pains of the past. The women bringing spices to embalm the body, just as you sometimes still carry tormenting thoughts to embalm old sorrows alive. But look and see, the stone has been rolled away. The heavy stone pressing on your heart for so long has been moved inside the tomb, empty. No corpse of mistakes remains, no ghost of regret remains. Only the linen cloths lying neatly folded. This emptiness is the most wonderful state of the mind to welcome sleep. Let your mind become empty like that tomb. Clean, airy. The angel spoke to the women and is also whispering to your subconscious a question full of wisdom, recorded in the Gospel of Luke. Why seek ye the living among the dead? He is not here, but is risen. Why do you seek solutions for tomorrow? Amidst the deadly thoughts of yesterday, do not dig in the ashes anymore. Old anxieties are dead. Let them sleep peacefully in the past. You are life, and life needs to rest. Feel the freedom of a mind with nothing left to entangle it. Empty. Light as a feather. Victor Hugo, who always believed that light would ultimately conquer darkness, wrote in Les Miserables a beautiful sentence about the power of faith in the quietest moments. Certain thoughts are prayers. There are moments when, whatever be the attitude of the body, the soul is on its knees. Right now, while your body is lying still, your soul is kneeling in the peace of the empty tomb. There is nothing left to fear. The door of the past has closed, and now, when the mind is light, you find yourself walking on a long earthen road stretching far away. The road to Emmaus, the road leading into dreams. On both sides of the road are wheat fields rustling in the afternoon wind. You walk slowly, step by step. There are two disciples walking with you. They are talking about the sorrows, the confusing events that have passed. Those are the fragments of memory remaining from the day. But then a stranger steps up to walk along. He is not noisy. He only quietly listens, and then he begins to explain. He says that every suffering, every trial you encounter lies within a grand plan of love. Nothing is accidental. Everything has meaning. His words are like a warm stream flowing into your heart, melting the icebergs of doubt. The Bible recounts that the hearts of the disciples burned within them when hearing him speak. Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way. Tonight, let that warm flame warm your heart. You are not alone on the journey of life. There is always an understanding one walking beside you, even when you do not recognize him. The road to Emmaus is stretching out, fading into the mist. You feel your feet heavy, but it is the pleasant heaviness of weariness, wanting to rest. That stranger is inviting you to stop and rest. Enter the inn of sleep. The sky has turned dark. Do not walk any nearer. Stay here, in this safety. Dear friend, traveler who has passed through the long night, breathe in deeply and feel the relief spreading within your chest. We have left every burden on the hill of Golgotha. We have entrusted everything into the Father's hands. And now, it is the first day of the week, early dawn, when the night dew still lingers on the leaves. You step towards the tomb, the place bearing anxieties, failures, and even the pains of the past. The women bringing spices to embalm the body, just as you sometimes still carry tormenting thoughts to embalm old sorrows alive. But look and see. The stone has been rolled away. The heavy stone pressing on your heart for so long has been moved inside the tomb. Empty. No corpse of mistakes remains. No ghost of regret remains. Only the linen cloths lying neatly folded. This emptiness is the most wonderful state of the mind to welcome sleep. Let your mind become empty like that tomb, clean, airy. The angel spoke to the women and is also whispering to your subconscious a question full of wisdom, recorded in the Gospel of Luke. Why seek ye the living among the dead? He is not here, but is risen. Why do you seek solutions for tomorrow amidst the deadly thoughts of yesterday? Do not dig in the ashes anymore. Old anxieties are dead. Let them sleep peacefully in the past. You are life, and life needs to rest. Feel the freedom of a mind with nothing left to entangle it. Empty. Light as a feather. Victor Hugo, who always believed that light would ultimately conquer darkness, wrote in Les Miserables a beautiful sentence about the power of faith in the quietest moments. Certain thoughts are prayers. There are moments when, whatever be the attitude of the body, the soul is on its knees right now. While your body is lying still, your soul is kneeling in the peace of the empty tomb. There is nothing left to fear. The door of the past has closed. And now, when the mind is light, you find yourself walking on a long earthen road stretching far away. The road to Emmaus, the road leading into dreams. On both sides of the road are wheat fields rustling in the afternoon wind. You walk slowly, step by step. There are two disciples walking with you. They are talking about the sorrows, the confusing events that have passed. Those are the fragments of memory remaining from the day. But then, a stranger steps up to walk along. He is not noisy. He only quietly listens. And then he begins to explain. He says that every suffering, every trial you encounter lies within a grand plan of love. Nothing is accidental. Everything has meaning. His words are like a warm stream flowing into your heart, melting the icebergs of doubt. The Bible recounts that the hearts of the disciples burned within them when hearing him speak. Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way? Tonight, let that warm flame warm your heart. You are not alone on the journey of life. There is always an understanding one walking beside you, even when you do not recognize him. The road to Emmaus is stretching out, fading into the mist. You feel your feet heavy, but it is the pleasant heaviness of weariness, wanting to rest. That stranger is inviting you to stop and rest. Enter the inn of sleep. The sky has turned dark. Do not walk anymore. Stay here, in this safety. The night has deepened. We leave the roadside inn to return to a more secluded place. It is the room where the disciples are gathering, doors closed, bolts fastened. Sometimes your mind is like this room. You close the door out of fear of outside noises. You retreat into a safe shell. But do you know, for true love, no door is a barrier, even when the door is still closed. Jesus suddenly appears in their midst. He does not knock. He does not break the door. He simply is present, just as peace is present in your heart right now. Despite the anxieties still lingering outside, the first word he spoke was the strongest sedative for humanity. Peace be unto you. Let this sound spread within your head. Peace. It is not the absence of storms. It is the silence. Right in the eye of the storm, the disciples were astonished. They thought they saw a ghost. Our minds also often doubt happiness. When peace comes, we fear it is not real, but Jesus smiles to prove that the resurrection is real. That joy is real. He asks them if they have any food. They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate in front of them. That ordinary act, how simple it is. It reminds you that the sacred is not far away. It lies right in the simplest things, in the dinner meal, in the warm blanket, in this sleep. God eats with them. Like a kindred spirit, you are also invited to that intimate banquet. Fear vanishes, only the warmth of kinship remains. And when their hearts were at peace, he led them out, as far as to Bethany, to a higher place, more airy. He instructed them to be witnesses of these things, witnesses of forgiveness, witnesses of hope. Your mission tonight is simply to bear witness to rest. Show this weary body that you know how to love yourself. Then he lifted up his hands and blessed them. While he was blessing, a magnificent scene took place. Like a great bird stretching itself out before the wind, he slowly left the ground. The Bible records that sublime moment, and it came to pass, while he blessed them, he was parted from them and carried up into heaven. Imagine you're gazing after that figure, and strangely, you feel yourself becoming lighter, lighter. Your feet no longer touch the ground. You are being lifted up with him, detached from the pull of earthly worries, detached from the gravity of burdens. You are flying up, higher than the black clouds, higher than the peaks of sorrow. Only the deep blue sky, full of stars, remains, a floating sensation, hovering, incredibly soothing. He returned to heaven, not to be far from you, but to open up an infinite space for your soul to dwell. That sky is your home. Every star is an eye of an angel watching over your sleep. You are drifting amidst the galaxy of peace. Nothing can hold you back anymore. You are free, completely free. Your body has now sunk deep into sleep, but your soul is soaring in the dance of light. Just fly away towards the most beautiful dreams. Peace remains with you. Love surrounds you, and the sky tonight is a warm blanket covering your soul. Sleep. Sleep very well in the arms of the Eternal One. Peace, peace, and good night.